Okay, I've got all of my pieces cut and ground. Took me, I probably spent 2 hours, maybe 2.5 total to get all my pieces ground. This is when you really appreciate that you cut your pieces as close to the pattern as possible, because you don't want to stand here for 6 hours and grind down 200 plus pieces. The next step is I'm going to take them out of the water, clean them off, dry them, and then put them onto my pattern piece. And you'll notice that I went ahead and got my zinc cut, at least for the top and the bottom at this point. I measured it off again, double check, double check, and check again is my motto. And so I cut it. I actually cut this one manually using one of these little hand saws. It's made to go over the edge of your workbench. You put your piece in here and it actually has little grooves to hold your zinc. Grab this real quick. So it holds your zinc nice and stable and steady. You put it in there, measure off where it needs to cut and use it. And what's nice about this is it's got your angle. So if you wanted to cut your zinc at an angle and have a nice mitered edge, it's built in for you. Pretty much any stained glass store, supply store can get you this setup here. You can probably even find it at a hardware store maybe. And then my good old Harbor Freight little cutter. I think they still have these in stock. You could just put it in there, measure it, crank it down so that it stays nice and steady. Turn it on. It's got a little safety button here to release the handle, and you just chop down on it. That's my go-to. I also have one of the expensive ones down here, $200 and some cutter, and this one's just so convenient. Again, I got it from Harbor Freight. They're unpredictable. You'll use it one time and then the next time the switch won't work anymore, so you get what you pay for. But that is what I've got going on so far. I cut the zinc because remember that our track, and I don't think I have my yellow piece anymore that we measured out. Yeah, I do. Remember when we were cutting our glass, we tested the zinc depth and found out that it's got a little bit of a spacing. Well, if I just go ahead and lay my pattern pieces on here, it's going to have some play in it because of the space that the zinc takes. So a lot of times I'll just go ahead and cut a couple pieces of zinc, and instead of laying it, this is a 3/8, instead of laying it and putting my glass pieces in there because I got to foil them yet, I set it upright on edge so that the channel is facing up. And that just seems to be enough space that when I put my pieces down, it allows for that extra space and everything else falls into place. So I'm really not going to use this piece up here. I'm going to put it over here on this edge for right now, just as a stopgap measure. That's not where it's going to end up when it goes into life, but I've got those pieces just to take that extra channel space to make sure that my pieces all line up. So the rest of my next hour or two is just cleaning these off, drying them, and placing them over here on my pattern piece. Of course, this is the worst part because I don't know if they're all going to fit together. So I'm going to spend hours and hours and hours going from my grinder to my pattern, back to my grinder, back to my pattern. No, I'm not. If you didn't use the pattern system, you would be doing that and getting very frustrated because nothing fits together. But because I cut and ground these to match the pattern exact, they're all going to go right over here and fit perfectly the first time. Hallelujah. All right, so that's what I'm going to do between taking breaks and watching Kansas City Chiefs. Talk to you in a while.